and I shall share my screen, and if somebody can just tell me if they can see the screen. Let me just drop that. And where are we? Just bear with me a second.
Yeah, I can see the screen, Duncan. It's just the size of it now at the moment, just to run the slides.
Okay. Okay, can you see this screen clear?
That's nice and clear, Duncan.
Right. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Duncan Wood. If you've not heard from me before, I live in North Wales in the UK. I'll just give you a brief background about myself. I've made a full-time living online, started off with multi-level marketing. That led me to online marketing, and I've had some fantastic successes. One of the best industries I've ever got involved in. I used to be a builder many years ago. So I love this kind of industry, but unfortunately I've been let down like a lot of people with various companies. I wish I could have just hung my hat on a hook and said, this is my home. But unfortunately, lots of companies let me down, and I've let a lot of people down. And I actually went through the worst year last year, 2018, that I've had for a long, long time. And cut a long story short, I was looking for something, didn't know what. The businesses I was doing weren't going to get me out of the situation I was in. It was getting critical, and I mean critical to the point where I was literally counting the months I would survive unless things changed. And fortunately for me, a very good friend of mine, John Van Derzen from Canada, sent me a video. It was actually about another company previous to this, but exactly the same system to do with crowdfunding. I got involved that night after having a long conversation with him, and I can honestly tell you that that whole system just totally turned everything around within days. My wife actually said to me it was like a miracle that happened, and it was. Now, from that company, I actually accidentally got speaking and sent a donation to the owner of Impact 101. There was no mention of this at that time, but it just happened a month or so later. Frank decided, the owner of Impact One, to do this system himself, to do it properly. And I'm here tonight to tell you that I could, well, exactly what I saw. I moved from that company to this company, the best decision I've ever made. And I want to tell you a little bit about Impact 101, what it is, where it's going, what's in it for you, and how everybody can take advantage of what's going on in the world right now. So let me sorry, what's going on here? Just bear with me a second, technical problems. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the industry crowdfunding. There is a lot of confusion out there. People don't understand what's going on right now with crowdfunding. And as an example, the first person I mentioned crowdfunding to, this is what he said to me. He said it was illegal. I knew he was incorrect in his information, and he also put doubt in my mind. So I decided to go and do my own research. And you can see from this slide here, this is taken from the FCA site, the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom, and certain types of crowdfunding are regulated. I can tell you peer-to-peer is not regulated and doesn't need to be, because it's literally one person sending a donation to another person, and it is totally legal in every country throughout the world. So if you do get anybody saying to you that it is illegal, they are incorrect. And now, why is crowdfunding growing so big? I'm going to show you how fast and how big it's growing in a minute, but it's mainly due to the banking system. The banking system is failing people. It has been for a long time. The last crash in 2006 to 2008, we're still feeling the effects of that today. And if you think that was the last crash, think again, because I honestly think that there is going to be a bigger crash soon, bigger than anybody can even imagine. I don't like to talk of gloom and doom, but I'm afraid that is the system that we have got. We've all been led into this system. Basically, banks have caused the problem. There has to be a better solution. The whole financial system is corrupt, it's crumbling, and it's not working. And this is not just in the UK, this is practically in every country in the world. So the banks have created a problem. There is a problem with the financial and regulatory system. It is flawed, and there has to be a better way. We've all got used to debt. You know, we can't really live these days without debt. The banks don't even lend us money. They create the money from thin air now. And the money that we have in our pockets is actually getting less and less value because the banks are just creating money out of thin air. It can't carry on. There has to be a better way, and there is. Crowdfunding is growing phenomenally worldwide. Now, do your own research. The statistics are incredible. Now, these are just a few of the companies that you'll see on the internet. I'd heard of a lot of these companies, but didn't realize what they did. I actually thought GoFundMe was a loan company. I thought a lot of them were, to be honest. When I found out that they are all using their platforms to crowdfund, you can go to any of these companies and raise or generate funds for whatever cause you want. Now, there is a big difference between IMPACT101 and these companies, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But GoFundMe right now is the #1 crowdfunding choice or biggest crowdfunding system in the world right now. And IMPACT101, I can tell you, their mission is to replace GoFundMe as the #1 crowdfunding system that people choose to choose. And I can tell you without doubt that I know the way Frank, the owner of this company, works and what he's putting into place. I've got no doubt they will succeed in that. So how big is the market? Well, Fundly is a website. You can go and find out yourself, but they stated that in 2017, $34 billion was donated through crowdfunding platforms, and that's projected to grow to $300 billion by 2025. So ask yourself this question: how much of that market would you like? Now, is it going to slow down? Well, right now, and it has been growing at this rate for the last 3 or 4 years, crowdfunding is growing at 136% year on year. Absolutely unbelievable. If you compare that to any industry that you might be involved in, there's nothing really to compare it. It is an amazing growth for any industry. Now, just the fact that companies like PayPal are also jumping on this growth in crowdfunding. PayPal, the largest payment provider in the world, are now allowing people to use their platform to generate revenue for whatever cause you want. Now, for a company like PayPal, worldwide brand name company, they do a lot of research, or will have put a lot of money into research to predict what is about to happen. And for them to integrate a brand new system into their existing system takes a lot of money, a lot of research, and a lot of know-how. So ask yourself this question. You know, people say to me, "Oh, crowdfunding is illegal." Well, if PayPal is doing the same system, does that mean say they're doing something illegal? The same with social media now. Social media sites are now also adapting their platforms to allow anybody to generate funds for whatever reason. Facebook is one of those companies. You can now use Facebook to make or create donations for any cause. So you don't have to be a big company. You don't have to be a charity. You do have to be 18 years and over. You do need a mobile phone and a computer. And this system works in every country in the world, as long as they have internet, because internet is the key. But it's because of social media that crowdfunding is now coming to the forefront and is growing massively worldwide, and will do for quite a few years yet. So who's the guy behind IMPACT101? It's this gentleman, Frank Savedio. I actually met Frank by accident. I was sending him a donation in the previous company, and he had something that I messaged him about. I said, "Frank, where did you get that from? I want it. It's amazing." And he messaged me back and said, "Do you like it?" And we ended up having a conversation purely by accident. It turns out he had an existing company, technology company, and he'd created the product I was talking about, which was actually a system to track Bitcoin or crypto transactions. And it was that led me to him. And it turns out a couple of months later, he ended up meeting the owner of the previous company, decided he didn't want to do business with that company, and decided that it was such an amazing concept, and the fact that crowdfunding was really becoming one of the major industries in the world. He wanted to take advantage of that, so decided to attach it as a separate arm to his existing company. And in January, he launched IMPACT101. To his existing company, QRGL Marketing Incorporated, with his partner Hans. So this guy has got masses of experience in marketing and sales, and you can see from this slide here his background. He knows what he's doing. He's got the expertise, and one of those guys that's got the technology and the expertise to do it is his partner Hans Luhmann. He's got 30 years experience in developing custom solutions for leading tech companies. You can see here they've been on the board of directors of Link Global Technologies Incorporated, a Canadian blockchain company. And both Hans and Frank launched QRGL in 2011. And in 2019, they both decided they needed to take action and added this arm to their existing company. So both these guys and the team behind them have got the expertise to take this to literally take the world by storm. So why this company? Well, if you'd got involved in any of these companies when they first started, which was all in our lifetime, in a very short period of time, these have become brand name companies known to practically everybody in the world. Now, imagine if you got involved with these companies very early on. Timing is everything in every business. And if, I don't know what that is come up on there, but if you had got involved in Amazon, you'd been a very wealthy person. So timing is important. Impact 101 launched on the 17th of January 2019, literally just over, not sure what it is now, it's probably about 5 weeks ago now. So this is right at the beginning, but believe you me, this company is growing fast, phenomenally. I can't even remember the figures now. I think we're in 119 countries already. I know the hits to the website are over, I think it's 2,300,000 views to their website. That is phenomenal for any company to achieve that in such a short period of time, literally not even 2 months old yet. So an amazing company. So how does it actually work? Well, it's a single platform crowdfunding and marketing system that allows anybody to receive half of everything that happens in what they call a donation grid, and it can literally be forever. It literally just can carry on and on and on. So if you're looking for something to leave to your kids and maybe to your grandkids, this is a system that literally anybody can do if they have a big enough reason why. So Impact 101 is based on a 2x2 grid process system. This system is actually, it's nothing new. It was used, as I said, by the previous company, and it's used by lots of companies. And the reason why they use it, it's the most successful follow me donation process in history. It's a simple system. It does take a little bit to get your head around, but believe you me, once you understand that follow me system, you will have a light bulb moment. I did. When I first started, and when I didn't quite understand what it meant, but when I first saw it happen, I really understood it then, and suddenly I realized, wow, this is amazing. So Impact 101 is a team crowdfunding system. What does that mean? Well, it's not you on your own. You do get help from above and from the people you introduce, so it's a team effort. And as crowdfunding suggests in the name, it's a crowd of people helping each other. We are all helping each other in a crowd to a better cause. And literally anybody can get involved, and that's what's so unique about it in any country in the world. So it's a peer-to-peer team crowdfunding system. What does that mean? Well, this was the key for me, because we are not dependent on any company to receive commissions or to send money to, and then we send our money to them and something happens and we can't get our money out. No money other than a license fee goes to the company. It is literally one person sending a donation directly to the other person's personal bank account. Direct. There is no money going to the company. So Impact 101 provides you with an easy to navigate, totally automated, feature-rich dashboard using the latest technology. Everything is tracked in real time. It allows you to monitor your donations literally seconds by second. You can literally register in one day and start receiving donations the same day, even before you've managed to even tell anybody. So basically, how do you start? Well, you have two choices. You can either purchase a 6-month license or a 1-year license, which is $40. The 6 month is $25. You can pay that either using a credit or debit card through PayPal, or if you've got a PayPal account, you can use your own PayPal account. You can use Stripe. We also have Dash or Bitcoin, and there is a token system as well, especially for people who maybe don't have a bank account but don't have credit or debit card. You can actually purchase a token, which is just a code really, which has already been prepaid. So once you've paid your license fee, you then get your own dashboard, and everything is on that dashboard. You pick your grids. You can have multiple grids. We'll talk more about those in a minute, but it's a very simple, user-friendly system. You can message each other internally. The company message you internally as well, so they're not reliant on emails going astray or certain people who have got too strong a security on their emails. They do stop a lot of emails getting through. You can choose what payment methods you want. On this slide on the left, you can choose anything from, we've just recently added ORU, which is available in most countries. Uphold, again, available in most countries in the world. TransferWise, PayPal. You can also add BankWire direct to your bank account, or if you use digital currency, Bitcoin, or any of the other currencies as well. You can, once you've done that, you literally send a donation to 2 people. Once you've sent that donation, you are qualified to now receive donations. These are the grids. There are 8 grids in total. You can only ever have 1 grid open of any level at any one time. You can't jump to a high level, so you couldn't, as an example, come in day 1 and jump up to, let's say, the $300 grid. You have to start from everybody has to start from the $40 grid, but you can have, as an example, 3 or 4 grids or more day 1. I personally started with the 4 grids, but it really is up to each individual as to where you are right now, what you can afford to start with. My advice is just start with a comfortable amount, a comfortable place. You can always upgrade later. And the one thing to inform you is whatever you start with, doesn't matter whether you start with the $40 grid or 4 or 5 or all 8 grids, that is the only amount that you will ever be out of pocket. You will find that you will start receiving donations quite quickly, and you will always receive 3 times what you've donated in each grid level. So the figures that you're looking at on the top are the amounts that you donate. So as an example, let's take the $40 grid. $20 goes to one person, $20 goes to another. 80 grid, the same. $40 goes to one person, $40 to another. Now the figures in the red are the amounts you will receive, and you receive those amounts as people will drop into those empty positions. There's only ever 6 positions available below you, so you're always top of your own grid. And as I said, it doesn't matter whether people above drop somebody in, or you introduce somebody, or a person you've already introduced introduces somebody. It doesn't matter. Either way, you get exactly the same result. You always receive 3 times what you've donated on that each grid level. And once you finish the grid, you have received 3 times what you've donated, and you can do it again and again and again. Okay, hope that helps. Just to give you an idea of how that actually works in practice, there's 3 steps that you go through. First of all, you purchase your license, it's either the 6 months or the 12 months. You register. So once you've registered, you need to become what's called an active member. And to become active, you need to donate first to 2 people. So a lot of people have heard, you know, give and you shall receive. In this system, first you have to give, you donate first, and then you share and you receive. And that is all we do. It's as simple as that. You donate, you share and receive. And if you keep donating, you can keep receiving. As long as you keep donating, you can keep receiving for eternity. So once you've registered, all you need to do now is to find 2 people. That's the minimum. You can introduce as many as you want, but the system does require at some point that you do need to introduce 2 people. You can receive donations, as I said, without introducing 2 people. My advice is go and find 2 people that need or want more money right now. Ask them a question. If they say they do, ask them one other question. Do they know 2 other people that need or want more money right now? And if they do, send them a video. Keep it really simple. Once you've found 2 people, just help those 2 people do exactly the same. Help them find 2 people each. So in this example, let's say you introduce Sue. Sue introduces Sally. Sue now introduces Jack. Okay, and Bill does the same. Bill introduces Tom and somebody else on the right-hand side there. Now, this grid system fills automatically. You can't place somebody. You can't fiddle it. Nobody can fiddle it. It's completely automated. So the system will just fill whichever person comes in next from top to bottom, left to right. So once you have filled it, that grid, that is finished and it's completed. And your role is just really just to help people find 2 people. Now, let me just put that into practice. This is the $40 grid as an example. It works exactly the same on the 80, the 150, the 300 grid. Exactly the same. The only difference is you are receiving, or you're donating more, but you're also receiving more. In this $40 grid, there's you. You now introduce your first person. Let's say that's Sue. Sue donates $20 to you, and $20 goes to the person who introduced you. There's the 2 people. Sue now needs to introduce 2 people. So let's give you an example. Well, here's another example, sorry. Let's say you now introduce Bill. It could be that your sponsor introduced Bill. It doesn't really matter. Bill comes into your grid. He donates $20 to you, $20 to your sponsor, and now you or your sponsor works with the people that you introduced. Sorry, I'm having... okay. So let's say as an example now, Sue introduces Sally. Sally donates $20 to Sue, and $20 comes to you from Sally. Sue now introduces a second person, Jack. Jack now donates $20 to Sue and $20 to you. And now Sue is qualified. And now let's say it's either you or your sponsor. If your sponsor introduced Bill, would work with Bill. Bill now introduces Tom. Tom donates $20 to Bill. Tom also donates $20 to you. And now Bill finds his second person, Dan. Dan donates $20 to Bill, $20 to you. At that point, you will have received back 3 times what you've donated. So you donated $40, you would have received back $120. Now you can donate again $40 back into the system, and you start a brand new grid and do it again and again and again. And you can do that exact same system on every grid, on every level, up to 8 in total. So there's the 8 grids. You can see there, as I said, you can only ever have 1 grid open on each level at any one time, but you can have up to 8 grids running simultaneously. So you could be receiving donations maximum of $2,400 per time, times 6, as low as $20 per donation on level 1. Ask yourself this question: would you rather receive donations 6 times $20 or donations 6 times $2,400? It really depends on you. Obviously, everybody's objective is to get all 8 grids going and working together. And then you can receive literally donations from every grid level, sometimes multiple times in a day. It really is up to each individual. The good thing about this, it can be totally self-funded from literally somebody starting even at the lowest level, $40, right the way up. It literally took me in the previous company literally a month, and I was up to the 8 levels, all funded from the 1 donation or the 2 donations that I started with on that very first day. So it's a brilliant system. It works. You just need to, like anything, just learn how to do it, and it is a very simple system. So it doesn't matter what your background or previous experience is. The IMPACT system is designed for people to have success. It's a fully automated system that will help you fill your donation grids quickly. You work as a team. It does most of the work for you and the explaining for you. Using our system can create an endless stream of donations, and it literally is endless. You can, as long as you keep donating, you will keep receiving. It's as simple as that. And as a member, you have complete access to the entire system, which includes a fully customized and personalized mobile landing page. In fact, you get 2 mobile landing pages. One is for your Impact 101, and one is a personalized landing page that you can promote any business, any existing business that you might have, or any other business you might do. Those personalized mobile landing pages, Frank has been selling to other companies for $250 a year, and you get 2 of them, and that's included in a license fee of as low as $25 for 6 months, and you get both of those for free. You also get your own personal website, just like the one we're showing you now, where people can get more information and join your team. It's a state-of-the-art back office, and it really is state-of-the-art because Frank is very keen on technology helping us and his company get to the #1 position. And it really is, that is the key, the technology behind this system. It's a state-of-the-art back office which tracks all your donation grids, your team, and your donations in real time. Everything is recorded. You get help from support and help from the leaders. One of the reasons why we do these calls, or this group of us that do them, is to help people literally bring people on to a call like this, and we are here to answer your questions or your people that you've introduced their questions, and literally save you trying to explain it, because that's the biggest mistake people make, is trying to explain it. The IMPACT system is designed for success. It's designed to get you the results that people want, the results that a lot of people have tried for years with various companies to get, and often have not received anything. Here is a system that anybody can do. It is not multi-level marketing. It is literally a website with a platform that is designed to generate. First, you need to donate, but then you can also receive. So you can donate and you can receive in the one system. It's working for thousands of people, and I can tell you it's going to work for hundreds of thousands of more people that are yet to come on. So I would reach out back to the person that invited you onto this call. All you really need to do, as I said, is ask people a question. There are various ways that you can ask somebody. You could ask them a third-party question. As an example, you could say, can you help me? I'm looking for people who need or want more money right now. Do you know anybody? Or you could ask somebody direct, do you need or want more money right now? When they answer, well, yes, then ask them another question. Do you know at least 2 other people that need or want more money right now? And if they say yes, then just share your mobile landing page or your personalized, your personal website page with them, and ask them to watch a video. And then the main and most important thing is the follow-up. Phone them up or ask them, did they watch the video? And if they did, just invite them to come and find out more. And you can invite them onto these calls as an example. And that's all we do. We just repeat the same process over and over again with all your contacts, and just help your team, the people that you introduce, do exactly the same. Anybody that's ever been in multi-level, not that this is multi-level, will tell you one thing: every system needs to be so simple it's duplicatable. So if you are doing something that is not duplicatable, it's not going to duplicate down to your team and the people they're introduced. So this system has to be simple and easy. As you can see, the videos are now in various languages, and there's more languages coming on every day. In fact, we have an update call tomorrow night at 8 o'clock UK time, that is. So these are showing you, the back office, where you can see everything that's going on. All the videos, all the company videos are recorded. This webinar tonight will be recorded, and you can use these to promote the system. These are the flags of the countries that we're currently in. I think, if I'm right, it's 119 countries we're in total. You can see all your grids that have completed, the donations you need to send, and you've got a complete history of the donations you've sent and the donations you've received. Everything is trackable. You've got a complete donation history. There's videos taking you through every process, from the grids to how to donate. There are videos in your back office to take you through everything. And my advice is watch those videos. And if you're brand new on this call tonight, I would certainly, before you even get started, is go and listen to some of the trainings that we have. Absolutely brilliant trainings. We have some of the best top what I call networkers the industry knows. There's the donation grids explained, and there is also a video there. This system is designed for success. All you need to do is, step one, ask some people a simple question, share your Impact 101 site or your mobile landing page, follow up and share your Impact 101 replicated website so they can get more information, and just repeat this process over and over again. There's the configurable mobile landing page that you can use for any business, any existing business. Brilliant technology, this. There is no other company that I know of that provides anything like this. Brilliant, brilliant system. So get back to the person that invited on, excuse me, onto this call. My advice is, find your reason why. I don't know why you're on this call tonight, but it's your reason why that's going to motivate you to get up and do something. Learn this system. All you do is list, contact, show, and follow up, and work as a team. The team effort makes life so much easier, and we have a fantastic team here in this company. Everybody is helping each other, so everybody's good at something, and it's amazing how it just makes life so much easier when people step up and just take on a role. You will see what I mean. We have regular live calls. Colin Simmons, I don't think he's on this call tonight. He's training tonight, but Colin does calls on a Thursday morning at 11 a.m. and every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. I do this call every Tuesday and Sunday evening at 8 p.m. And Bruce Lamb, who's a very good friend of mine and helped put these slides together, he is about to start regular calls as well. So there is plenty of, let me just end the presentation there, and I will get back to, where are we? I shall stop sharing, and I shall answer any questions anybody has. Let me just have a quick look in the chat. Let me just see if there's a few questions here. Okay. So one of my people has sponsored one person, their $40 grid is full, and the new grid will not open until they sponsor. That's correct. Okay. Let me explain that before we start. Yes. a lot of people will hopefully not experience this, but if you sit there and do nothing and your grid fills from the efforts of your sponsor, as an example, you will receive donations, which is very nice. But as an example, if your grid has finished and you won't be allowed to open up a new grid unless you have introduced 2 people. So that's why you need to take action when you start and go and find 2 people as quickly as possible, because you don't want that to happen. Now, don't panic, because you don't lose out. I don't know whether Bruce is on the call tonight, but a friend of mine, Bruce Lamb, he had exactly that happen to him. He was taking it seriously, but he just hadn't had time. And what happened was, I was recruiting somebody and I was working with that person. Bruce's grid filled, and he'd received $120 as an example on the $40 grid, and the next minute he couldn't open up a new grid until he'd introduced 2 people. He had already actually introduced 1 person. So my advice is, get the 2 people out of the way as quickly as possible. And by the way, that happens in every grid. You can receive donations on every grid level, literally once. Once you've received or filled that 1 level grid, you do need 2 people at that grid level to open that grid level up again. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot to take in, but and I hope whoever is it, Tracy, I hope that's answered your question. If it hasn't, Tracy, just unmute yourself and we will expand, or I'll try and expand on that a little bit more. It's quite, one of the other questions people want to know is, can you just introduce 2 people? Yes, you can. But my advice is, I wouldn't depend on it, because people work at different paces. Some people are part-time, some people are full-time, some people are no-time. You just don't know. But it can be the same 2 people. You could introduce 2 people. Those 2 people could have, let's say as an example, they started, both those people started at the $40 and the $80 grid. You would receive donations at both those grid levels. If, as an example, one of the people that you'd introduced personally moved up to the next grid, let's say the $150 grid, and you hadn't, you would miss out on that grid, just purely on that grid, because you weren't at that grid level at the time. But here's the but. Because you introduced that person, you would miss out on 1 donation, but as soon as you upgrade to that level, you pick that person back up. That person follows you right the way through for life. Okay, so yes, you might miss out once, but it'll only be once. My advice is, work together, work as a team. And as an example, the guys that I work with, if they are thinking of upgrading to the next level and I'm not there, they have the courtesy to ask me, am I ready yet to upgrade to the next level? The reason is they don't want me to miss out on the donation. And nor do you really. Think about it. You want the person that introduced you to benefit, because they are going to help you. So it's everybody working for each other. It's not a race here. Well, it is a race. I don't know about you, but I haven't got long left. I've got to make back what I lost last year very quickly. And I can tell you, it was a lot. So when people say I'm not interested in a get-rich-quick scheme, I'm not interested in a get-rich-quick scheme that's illegal. But what I am interested in is getting rich quick. So I don't know about you, but there is a race on here. Time is running out. And, I want to enjoy life. So my advice is, take this seriously. Treat it like a business. It's not a business. It's actually a system. But if you treat it like a business that you've put in 20,000, 30,000 in, treat it seriously. Work hard for 6 months, maybe 12 months, okay? And I can tell you, you will never, ever look back, and you'll never, ever have to, what I call, work hard ever again. Because once you understand that follow me system, that's it. You don't need to keep recruiting like some systems. So I hope that helps. If anybody has got any questions, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, Duncan, I've got a few questions. Again, I've been from the start, and I'm always learning, because what Tracy was saying, her person, she's in the $40 one, $80 one, $150 and $300 grids, and obviously what you're saying then, she can't open the next 40 until she gets a second person. Is that correct? But her $80 ones and the 50 will still be going, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You will still receive donations from those other grids. This is why, and let me just, while we're talking about this, I remember when I first spoke to John, I asked him a question, because this is what went through my mind. My sponsor, John, in the previous company, he had received 56,000 in 16 days. Now, I've never heard of that kind of money being received in your bank. So I immediately thought either he's a massive recruiter or he's put in a lot of money. So I called him and I asked him questions. And yes, he did start with what at the time was too much money for me, because he did start with 8 positions in that previous company, which is actually 7,500. Now, I asked him a question. So I said, there's no way I could right now, in my personal financial situation, start with that kind of money. I said, so what's the minimum? Now, he told me. So I said, so if I start with the minimum, can I get to where you are in the time it took you? And he said, yes. Now, that's when I began to understand it, because I asked him, I said, so what is the benefit of me, if I had the money, of starting with all those grids? And this was his answer. Because he said, while you might not have anybody at the time in those grid levels, I might introduce somebody, which he did, and what will happen is they drop into your grid. So what happens, you receive donations from that grid, and you can receive up to 6 donations from that grid. So if you can afford it, yes, get into the higher grid levels, and you will receive, but you do need, at some point, you can only ever receive up to 6 maximum at each grid level. You will need at some point to have introduced or have 2 people in that grid level.
That's great, Duncan. I've got one from Judy. She said, I'm not sure what Judy's situation is, but how do I open the new grid? It's gone. So
it's automatic. It doesn't go. What happens is, as an example, Colin isn't on the call tonight, but Colin Simmons was one of the first person I interviewed.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put you on mute because somebody had some noise in the background there. If you do want to speak, unmute yourself. But just to give you an example, when I first started, I'd introduced this is Colin. He doesn't mess around. And he just registered that day. It was actually 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And by 7 o'clock at night, this was with the previous company, he had received in his bank $750. Now, I suddenly got an email to say Colin was about to send me another donation. He'd already sent me one. Remember, he joined around about 3 o'clock. And I thought he'd gone and joined again. So I called him and I said, Colin, what are you doing? You've gone and joined again. He said, no, I haven't done anything. I'm out. So I said, and that's when the penny dropped. I suddenly realized the system automatically puts him back into a new grid. What does he have to do to activate that grid? Donate again out of the money he'd received. So the system automatically starts a new grid. But you have to donate again for that grid to start, don't you? Remember that when you first join, what you do, you donate first. The person that introduced you then has to confirm before you go into the grid. Exactly the same on every grid. So when that person gets, or when you get a message to say that you're about to receive a donation, there's one point, by the way, somebody did mistakenly confirm that they'd received the money and they hadn't received anything. So don't make that mistake. Remember, it's a 2-system process. You first of all get a message to say you're about to receive a donation. Only confirm that you've received the donation when the money you can see is in your bank. Hope that helps. Sean, any other questions? You're on mute at the moment. Just let me unmute you. Where are you?
I've unmuted myself, Duncan. There was one here, and it was about Adrian. He says, does the mobile landing page come with an autoresponder? Obviously not, but you can answer that.
No, Adrian doesn't know. But listen, I am trialing out a system right now that is a marketing and fully automated system. Speak to the person that introduced you if you want to know more, but I'm testing it right now. It looks fantastic, it really does. So if there's anybody that's looking for that kind of system, I've tried loads in the past, and to be honest, most of them are so complicated, I lose the will to live, to be honest. This is a system that's being done for you, basically, all set up for you, and specifically for Impact 101. Any more questions, Sean?
No, not really. I could just add that to Adrian's question. I don't know if Adrian has actually downloaded his mobile landing page on his telephone. A lot of people think it's an app. There's obviously an app coming, but you do have to download it. And even in your back office, if you just click on your mobile landing page, put it on the browser, and then just click on the different like the films there. You click on the films, and there's 3 films that come, tell you how to join or what people are saying, and a great thing about this the mobile landing page is you can actually promote any business with your second landing page, whether it's an hairdresser's or it's a baker. It doesn't matter. And the great thing, what I think about this, Duncan, and if say I was an hairdresser in Scotland and I've got my mobile landing page and I want to share it with my friends who've got Scotland, just say, listen, can you share this with your friends? When they've clicked on the mobile landing page, they'll see in their area of Scotland how many potential customers they could be having. She could put offers on there, the landing page in itself, not even people ever experienced how good it is.
Well, listen,
I don't think any more questions.
You know yourself, Sean. I'm not the most technical. I'm technically challenged on everything. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I went in and I was determined to follow the instructions in your back office of how to open up that, as you said, it's not an app, it's a mobile landing page on my phone, so I could send it to somebody. And I can tell you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So go and have a try. If you don't do it the first time, try again, because I read the wrong instructions. I didn't realize it had instructions for certain types of mobile. But it's like anything, we all are impatient, especially the blokes. Anybody that's had any flat pack furniture will tell you, most blokes try and put it together without reading the instructions, and then when they fail, they go and start trying to read it.
Another question, Duncan. I think it's Sally or something like that. Hi, when a new grid is opened, how long does it take to expire?
Well,
okay.
That's where you need to work with your people. It's like anything. If you are actively recruiting, you will fill that grid. Now think about it. If you introduce somebody and they do nothing, are they going to see anything if you do nothing? No. Now, if you are active and you recruit, let's say the first 2 people fill the top 2 positions in your grid. Okay, and now you introduce your next person. What happens? That person drops underneath the first person that you've introduced. What do they have to do? Donate to that first person that you just introduced. Now, do you think that will make the first person that you introduced happy? Absolutely. So, I had one lady message me, and this is what she said. She said, I joined and I didn't do anything, but I received 2 donations. So then what did she do? She introduced her daughter, and her daughter was in the system, and she was complaining because her daughter had been in the system for 12 days and had seen nothing. Why? Think about it. Her mum's done nothing, her daughter's done nothing, and yet they're sitting there expecting something to happen. it's not a business, but it is your system. Make it happen. Take some action. My advice is take some massive action now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Once you start seeing the results, I'll tell you, it will motivate you. And not only that, you'll have a story. And once you've got a story, then you will start attracting people to you. They'll come to you. You know, I won't chase anybody. I want people chasing me. And that's where you have got to get to that situation where you have got people coming to you, looking for you, searching for you. So my advice is just get the word out there, get yourself on the internet, get yourself noticed. I mean, I don't know whether it's Mel's on the call. Mel came on and did a testimonial on one of the company calls a couple of weeks back. And I know now there are people searching Mel out. Why? Because she made herself known. And I'll just want to give you an example. I was asked to do a testimonial on one of the videos, and I didn't know there was somebody who happens to live about 30 miles away from me, but he was searching online. He found or started reading about crowdfunding and came across an Impact 101 video. It was actually an American guy. Now, no disrespect to the American guy, but he didn't relate to that person, so he carried on searching and he came across another video. It happened to be the testimonial video that the company did. And I had done a testimonial on it. And he heard that I lived not far from him. What did he do? Go on the internet searching for me. The next minute he messaged me, and the next minute he joins me. Now that's why you need to get yourself out there, because there are people searching on the internet looking for people to join. And you might not think that, but believe you me, there are. And I'm not saying it happens every day, but the more you get yourself out there, the more you get known. And the more you get known, the more people are going to be attracted to you. So,
yeah, great, Duncan. That's fantastic. It's nice to see so many new people on here. John, back. I've not met John before, but hi, John. Welcome. And like Duncan said, unmute your mic if you have any questions.
Yeah, and now's your chance, because I don't know about you, but I've got family to go to. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm dying to get my dinner. So now's your chance. If you want to ask a question, don't be shy. Unmute yourself. Now's your chance. Nobody? Okay.
Hey, Duncan?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. Say I have a $150 grid, and that fills up, right?
Yeah.
So when that new grid comes out, that's when I get 2 new people at the top of that one. I'm required to do that.
No. What it means is it could be the same 2 people that started off on the $40 grid that gradually moved up or upgraded to the higher grid. So if it was the same 2 people that suddenly then upgraded to the $150 grid, you're qualified in that grid.
Okay, thank you. That helps so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Listen, I know it does take a little bit, but it's like anything. The one way you will learn, it's like me, imagine trying to teach somebody how to drive a car by trying to explain it to them. They'd never do it. In the end, you've got to physically go and do it. And I can honestly say, when you have done, you will all have a light bulb moment when you fully understand this system. It is an amazing system. It's the most incredible system I've ever been involved in. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. I mean that. I love it because it's simple. It works. You don't have to keep recruiting. You just need to find a group of people that you can work with. To me, it's like if you wanted to set up a company tomorrow, who would you like as your directors? That's what you want to think about. Now, everybody knows people that they would love to work with. Go and show them the system. Go and see if they can work with you and work together as a company, a team, and help each other, because that's what we're doing. The crazy thing is everybody on this call also benefits from what we're doing, because at some point you are going to receive a donation from somebody you don't even know. Somebody somewhere in a country somewhere else in the world that you've never even been to. Amazing.
Appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, Steve. Anybody else? Last chance.
Hey, Duncan.
Who's this?
Hey, this is Paul from Hawaii.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
My question is, I have 3 credits, 90 and 50. But people fall in my under 50 and 20, but the 40 is empty. Can you explain why is that?
Unfortunately, the sound's not coming through well. Is there any chance you can type the message in the chat?
Okay.
We can't hear what you're saying. I'm sorry, but the sound's not coming through.
Yeah, Duncan, I think he might have got the message. He's going to type it, so we'll give him a second or two.
Sorry, Radisky. Anybody else got a question before we? Well, let's just give Radisky a chance to type his question.
I don't have a question, but I would like to tell you guys that I actually was on a cruise. While on that cruise, the donations that I received paid for half the cruise. It was lovely. And I even managed to get on the internet and make sure I did all my donations, but my donations incoming pretty much paid for my cruise.
JJ, just while you're on, I know Colin asked you, he got it a bit confused. I was going to ask you, would you mind coming on tomorrow night's call?
Yep, no, be delighted to. Be delighted.
It'd be great to have you. Okay, I shall let John know. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Okay, anybody else got any questions before we finish for the night?
No, Duncan, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Just to let everybody know, let me just paste this in here. No, it won't let me do it. There is a company update call tomorrow night. It's UK time, 8 p.m. I'm not sure what that is time-wise in what country you're in, but it's 8 p.m. UK time because of the time difference, or the clocks go back. It's slightly different. It's normally 9 o'clock. I really would recommend everybody get onto that call because Frank is going to give us an update on where we're at, what's coming on, what's new, and it's always exciting to hear. And there's going to be some great testimonials, so don't miss that call. It is recorded for anybody that really can't get onto it for whatever reason. So thanks very much, everybody.
Duncan, just we've got the question in from Ritsky. He says, I have 3 grids open, 40, 80 and 150. I think he's trying fell in the 150 and 40, but nothing in the 80.
Okay, just be patient. It will happen. But listen, if you work with your people and help them introduce a couple of people each, you will find that they will want to upgrade to those higher grids, and that's how you'll end up filling it. I mean, listen, you've got to expect the higher grids takes a little bit longer to fill than the lower grids. Sometimes I can have the $40 grid finished 2 or 3 times in one day, but the higher grids I might receive 2 or 3 donations in 1 month. Doesn't matter. Think about it. You know, if you're receiving maybe 1, 2 donations at 2,400 a time, how many do you want? Let's not be greedy. Now, I'd like lots, but
I hope he got that message. If not, just I guess he can get in contact with our face group. So he should be in there. So he can ask that question again.
Good. Thanks very much, everybody. Next call will be tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. That's the company call. And then on Thursday, for people in America especially, Colin does a 11 a.m. call and a 8 p.m. in the evening call. And I will hear you all out. You'll hear from me next on Sunday evening. Thanks very much.
Will that be posted in the group?
Sorry?
Will you post that in the group, that information in the group for the calls?
Well, what we do, Earl, is we notify everybody in the group the links for the webinars in advance. Yeah, definitely. Listen, I won't let anybody down. Every Sunday, unless something major happens, and I'm sure Colin or somebody can take my place if I can't forever, whatever reason. So I hope that helps, Earl. Yeah, definitely. We will notify everybody. We always post in the Facebook groups. And there's another tip, get every new person registered or onto the Facebook groups or the WhatsApp group or I lose track of what. We've also got a Telegram group as well running. So there's something there for everybody. And we always make sure that if there's something we want people to know about, they'll be put up in those groups.
Yeah, but before you go, Earl, I want to buy your chair, okay?
Which
it's
chair?
better than mine.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, Earl's chair, yeah. Earl, is that your house you're sat in?
Yeah.
I want to come to your house. It looks like
Okay, then.
Right.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for the call.
I'll have to change my surroundings and get something like Earl.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Good night, everybody.
Yes,
Good
thank you.
night.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye, Mel.
Yeah.